Alrighty, it is Friday at the ITM Christchurch Super 440, and boy, it's a whole big weekend of racing coming up. We have team reps getting ready to kick things off with a bit of words about how the start of the weekend has gone for us. Tom Moore from Dick Johnson Racing in the middle, Barry Ryan from Erebus Motorsport to his right, and Bruce Stewart on the left from Walkinshaw TWG Racing. Tom, I'll start with you. We just had a chat off to the side before we got started. We've got one practice in the books. It's the only practice of the weekend, a brand new racetrack for you guys to get your head around. How did the DJR team fare, and how do you guys feel heading into now the business end of the weekend already?
Yeah, we felt pretty comfortable this morning. The guys sort of rolled out fairly well. It's always hard to tell with a new circuit. The drivers will probably find time in themselves for the first sort of day or so as they're nutting out the circuit and that sort of thing. Obviously, they know what a balanced car feels like or what it doesn't feel like, so we're pretty positive. It was a good session for Ryland, being up inside the top 10. Bit of mixed tyre quality, I think, going on as well. Those that had greens from Taupo and those that didn't. So, yeah, time will tell this afternoon. But, yeah, like practice, you can't read too much into it, especially with a new circuit and a lot of variables on the cards.
With the new circuit, and of course the new schedule with racing today that wasn't planned 7 days ago, does that change your guys' approach much heading into this weekend? Over the past few days you've been pre-briefing for this weekend?
Probably doesn't change your approach too much. You're still same amount of equipment, sort of same, the tyre allocations there, all that sort of thing. It probably extends the length of the weekend for the drivers as far as maintaining their energy levels across extended amount of time. A lot more racing, obviously, potential for more damage as well with more racing. We were lucky, got pretty clean cars out of last round last weekend, so we're not really too concerned on that front. But yeah, it's not a huge change. It's just another thing to deal with and to attack the best of our ability.
You gave a little bit of a rundown on the drivers and how they fared this morning. One of them is a very known commodity. Brody, obviously being a race winner, leading the championship at the moment, but Ryland's got a lot of hype around him and his ceiling as a driver. Early days, of course, in his rookie year, but what's the assessment from within the team of the teenager on how he's faring? Yeah,
no, we're really happy with him so far. He's even everything he does off the track, you completely forget his age. He speaks and behaves, 10 years older than what he is. Results on the track where he has a lot of time to grow in the sport and within the team. I was only saying to him yesterday, he's probably entering the category at a very hard time where there's a few years into a big technical regulation change and everyone's converging as far as the driver ability, the cars, all that sort of thing. So if he was to come in 2 years ago or 3 years ago in 2023, there was sort of a lot more spread in the field. It's probably a little bit easier for a rookie to find his spot, but everyone's so dialed at the moment in the driver ability, the car setup, the team operation. It's a very hard thing to get right when you're starting from scratch like that.
Yeah, with the margin we've seen already this weekend, it's no doubt, no surprise at that, but coming along. Thank you very much. I'll look to the gentleman to his right, Barry Ryan with Erebus, talking about young drivers. You have a couple of young ones, and it's not been the season start that you guys have wanted, of course, speaking about that over the past couple of rounds, but how does your morning shaped up so far and getting young fellas their heads around this new racetrack?
Yeah, it was okay. We got a bit of a balance shift in the GM for the day, so we had to try and see what that was going to do, and hard to say whether it's done anything yet, but we're just trying to work out whether we go with setups, sort of we known setups, or whether we're still searching for something. So yeah, the drivers got their head around the track. That's the main thing, straight into qualifying. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a building year. We know that, and Cooper, we wanted him to tick a few more boxes, and Job sort of get there and just keep progressing, like Tom was saying about Ryland. That's all we can ask for.
You talked about the adjustments made. It's probably hard to really get a read on what those changes make going to a new circuit. Is that the case?
Definitely, yeah. You know what it should do, or you're told what it should do, but you just don't know. You're sort of guessing the new circuit, and it seemed a little bit more stable in the rear than it had been, because that had been our biggest problem, but a bit hard to tell.
With the format here this weekend, obviously quite a different one, but I guess any thoughts from your perspective, from a sporting perspective, from an entertainment perspective? Coming straight in, one practice, into qualifying race. We, of course, did that at the Grand Prix just a few weeks back, but in this sprint format, it's a little bit different, a little bit new. What do you think?
It's probably harder for rookies, because it's good to have a break and sit them down and get them to calm down a bit and then sort of go again. But that's the position we're in and what everybody's in, and it's entertainment, and the races are entertaining. Practice is boring, so the more races, the better.
Personally, I definitely agree. So thank you very much for that. I'll look over across before I open it up to journalists in the room to, I guess, the closest thing to a hometown hero we got here, don't we? Bruce Stewart, welcome back to this side of the ditch, and it's pretty darn cool to be here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to be in Christchurch. Good for the teams to see the South Island as well, but even more for the fans down here who are super passionate. You even saw that yesterday with the Waka, who turned out in the centre of Christchurch. Passionate people down here. Like Christchurch is like Melbourne is in Australia, you know, the second biggest city, looking up at the harbour town up above, but really over-representing in sport passion and just turning up for anything. So I can't wait to see what the crowd looks like on Saturday, Sunday. And it's nice to be here, but you know what? We're going racing, so you've got to put that stuff away and park the emotion and just head down.
When it comes to racing, you guys are surely coming in flying and in high confidence. You just reflect back a week ago to the success this team has had, got to experience, you know, especially with Woody winning on home turf.
Yeah, it's really nice and great to see reward for the young guy, but you know what it's like, and particularly when you do it back-to-back, this sport can kick you really hard. If you ever sit back and navel gaze and go, how good are we, you're just going to come last, because you've got hard races, experience up and down the pit lane, and you never, ever look back. You've got to keep developing. So we might reflect on the plane on the way back if we can go okay here in Christchurch, but until then, you just got to fight.
And the fight started a little bit already with practice. Woody was third in that. How do you guys, and Chaz wasn't too far behind on that from memory, so how do you guys assess this morning and trying to back it up?
Well, you're never happy. You're always learning, particularly with a new car, and you know, so this has been a year of just constant improvement and trying to learn a new car, and then you come to a new circuit. It's cool listening to Barry talk about a tweak in their cars and learning that car, and obviously most of the field haven't spent time at Ruapuna and certainly haven't in a supercar. So everyone's learning here, and I think the track, you know, was a little bit slippery out there as well. So 45 minutes, you get what you can out of it. The engineers are working super hard, and we put what we can together for qualifying, but it's going to be entertaining. There's a lot of jeopardy out there, like, you know, a lot of unknowns. There's and that's good for the sport, you know, but it doesn't mean you ever get relaxed or feel easy about it. You know, there's a knot in the guts always, Jamie.
Absolutely, and before I open it up to the room, I guess just personally for you, 2 rounds here in New Zealand, it's special for everybody in the championship, but I would imagine especially so for someone like yourself.
Yeah, well, I get to get my accent back, and people respect me and stuff, so it's cool. I can talk about the underarm, February the 1st, 1981, and every chip on my shoulder as a Kiwi I have about Australians, so, but apart from that, get to entertain the fans.
Excellent, absolutely. I'll open it up to journalists in the room for any questions for the boys.
Hi, Bruce. Eric Thompson for the New Zealand Herald. Being a Christchurch boy,
Yeah.
born and bred, and when you got into supercars, did you ever think you'd see a supercars event in Christchurch and with a Kiwi driver?
Yeah, well, you're right. No, I didn't. And equally, I've got to be careful. You're the New Zealand Herald, so you represent Auckland and everywhere else. But I do remember having a chat to Garth and James Courtney a while, and they were like, you guys are full of Bruce. You talk about mountains. When we're racing in Pukekohe, they're like, I can't see anything snow-capped. And I'll be like, boys, way down south, you know, if you took the time, you'd see it's a different world down there as well. It's equally beautiful. So I'm just cool that all of the teams can see this, and the Alps in the background, and they'll get to feel a couple of frosts as well along the way. And you know what? I feel the passion of the fans.
Bruce, sorry you feel that way about the underarm still.
I do.
5 days on since that win on Sunday, can you take us into any sort of reaction from Toyota globally or from Australia? Because that's a massive achievement for the brand.
Certainly the phone was ringing hot, the WhatsApp messages and the emails. Received a letter from Toyota Motor Corp Australia, which was extraordinary. But they're also very realist about the whole thing, you know, like they're coming here to learn and develop, and if we said to them that it's just sunshine and daisies from here on in, they wouldn't believe you, you know, and that wouldn't be true. We've got hardcore races up and down the pit lane, as I said, and there will be tough times. We know that. This is a bloody challenging sport, But yes, they were wrapped, but they also are staying the course. We're learning, developing, getting better, and building our package.
How important was it to get that run on the board straight away? If you're seeing Toyota merch around the paddock, that must fill you with a lot of pride.
Yeah, I was didn't expect in my wildest dreams to have won a race so early. It was really nice, but I don't know if important's the word. When you have a backing of Toyota and they're in for the journey long term, and they're in, as I said, to develop. It was a really awesome moment, but it wasn't important. We already know what our journey is going to be and where their support stands, win, lose or draw.
And it came at a good time. You're next door to your mates at 888 now. Can you talk us through some of the vibes down there? I was in the pit lane yesterday doing pit stop practice, and those guys are watching you guys go to work. Can you feel the tension in that rivalry?
Honestly, no. You know, like, no. We're super competitive, whether it's DJR or Erebus or whoever, TIG-Fit up and down the pit lane. Like, there's been a lot of manufactured kind of rivalry there. Sure, there is a long history, but we got history with everyone. So this is competitive, you know, like there's no giving rights or having mates in the paddock or anything like that. Everyone comes out and fights hard. So is it amplified with 888? No, it is what it is. And it's always been there.
Barry, you talk about it being a building year. Do you have half an eye on Bathurst? You guys are always so good there. If you are building and maybe sort of there or thereabouts through the normal part of the year, yeah, is Bathurst a real goal already?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, as soon as we left there last year, it was a goal to win it this year. So that's what we do, and it's what we always target. But I'm still going to target the next race. We'll target trying to win today's race. But Bathurst is always in your vision, and you always got focus on it because it's the biggest race of the year. So.
To Tom and Bruce, I mean, obviously we know that the GM teams wanted that change. Are you guys comfortable with that process? I mean, it is obviously not very long after the wind tunnel.
Yeah, I think what's without the homologation team duties for us anymore, it's something we sort of don't need to worry about. We just sort of keep all our focus internal at the moment now, as the team hasn't really had the chance to do for the last couple of years. But yeah, we're just sort of worried about what we're doing and how to make our cars as fast as possible.
Yep, parity is the cornerstone of our sport. So we buy into that, we believe in it, we support it in every way, shape or form. After 3 rounds, I would be lying if I didn't say we were surprised, because certainly GM cars were strong, and Anton particularly was very strong in Sydney, and they have got a younger crew of drivers, and Barry said it really well the other night. If there's one thing about Barry is he's very hard, but he's very fair, and so I even remember conversations when we were with another brand before Bathurst, and Barry is the guy who is very sensible, hard but fair in these things. So when he talks, people listen because Barry doesn't bullshit. So in that respect, we're a little bit surprised. We came out of the wind tunnel, the HT team signed off, and we're 3 rounds in. There's been a change, but we're not going to get caught up in it and how it came about. Precedent's been set, and we just move forwards, compete hard, and do our best.
And just Tom, you've obviously been in the paddock, for many years now as an engineer, but how's life being as a team manager, sort of stepping up in the hierarchy?
Yeah, it's been good. It's something I sort of always sort of angled towards. I think from the moment I sort of started running a car, I thought, well, the next thing I want to do is try and run a team in this capacity. I
tried to keep him as a manager, tried to get him to step up, but he had to move on.
And I'm grateful for the time that I spent working for Barry and the things that I learned there, because although I probably haven't been around a long time compared to especially the guys sitting around me, it's great to be able to sort of influence some of your own ideas and procedures and operations, that sort of thing on another group. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully we're seeing the fruits of the entire group, what we're achieving, the things that we've changed over the last couple of years. So happening now.
I'd like to welcome Tom as well. You know, like good-looking young rooster. You know, really clean cut, nice hair and stuff. I reckon one stage Barry and I were like that. But let's take a photo in a year's time. Let's get Tom back. Well, you're still beautiful, Barry, but in a different way. But I'd like to see some more greys in Tom's hair, maybe a little stubble, a little bit of anger in the eyes.
3 months of managing Brody. I think more's falling out than ever had before. So yeah.
Oh, cracks.
It feels weird. It feels like Christmas lunch graduated from the kids' table to the adults' table at the moment right now.
So you telling me it's your genes, Tom?
Maybe.
Bruce, sorry to interrupt the comedy show. Your two Supers tend to be a bit further up the field than Brad's 3 at the moment. What's the relationship like between the two teams, and what work is going in to try to lift those guys to where you are?
You know, it's a great relationship. We hug each other tight. I feel like I've got 5 cars in the game. I watch where those cars are going as well. And so the relationship is great. Brad's a hardcore racer. He knows his stuff. It's fantastic. Andre was really quick in Sydney, in the first race and stuff like that. So it is very collaborative, and we keep working together.
Barry, you guys opted to not join the sort of Chevrolet alliance and stick to your independence that you're obviously very proud of. Given the fact you do have 2 young drivers in the team, you could from the outside perceive there would be a benefit of having that pooled data. Do you stand by the decision to keep going it alone?
Yeah, 100%. We had 2 young rookies in 2021. We won a championship 2 years later, and Bathurst a year after that. So we back ourselves as an independent team, and said to GM that once we really believe in their system, because they're only developing a system, we will consider it. But at the moment, Betty's pretty passionate, like I am, about it being independent, and it feels good to win as an independent team. And it's just the way we are. It's probably the way we'll always be.
And one for Tom and for Barry. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot. Ryan Wood winning in a Toyota at the 3rd round of that car being in the championship. Are you guys surprised that package has become so competitive so quickly? Because a 1-3 in a race won on merit, like it wasn't an accident, it was a real performance.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's incredibly impressive. They're a very strong race team with 2 very strong drivers, so I wouldn't say it's a surprise. But yeah, probably expected not that early, but expected eventually for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the aero figures when they first got approved, I thought this is going to be a tough situation, and they did a really good job of it, and they've done a good job of getting to where they are with a new engine and everything. And yeah, so it's good for the sport, the Toyota win. So yeah, got to tick that box, and hopefully they don't dominate, especially when it comes to the October race.
Hey Bruce, Matt Kameen from Stuff here. We know things are tight in pit lane, and you guys have obviously last race had 2 on the podium. Have you talked about the double stacking? Is there any contingency plans around that, or?
Well, clearly there's a rule coming in for these races. So yeah, your engineers and your team are talking about strategies and contingencies about that stuff, because you don't want to stumble over each other, and you want to be as competitive with both cars as you can. Am I going to share them with you?
I was just going to ask, do you want to share them, or?
Well,
it's a rule.
do I know them? But the honesty is, it's going to be great to watch the first race, because I'm sure there'll be different thoughts up and down the pit lane. So yeah, I can't wait.
Sorry, Bruce.
Trevor Chappell. No?
Yeah, it was stand by it. Just given how well you guys have gone, and there's been talk about the engine still having room to improve, do you feel there is still a fair bit more to come on the engine side?
There is work to be done on the engine, and it's very tightly controlled with supercars. But reliability is the first thing we've got to build, and that's a cornerstone of Toyota and their brand and what they stand for. And we're not perfect there yet. And then secondly, power, there is still a little bit of a hole in there that we need to develop and build the gap on.
We'll wrap it up on that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's Team Reps representatives press conference done at the ITM Christchurch Super 440.